he's going from music. Anataka watu waweke kura na waseme wabe kimuona kwa nini.
Frasha, karibu sana.
Thanks a lot.
First of all, I have to say you're looking so sharp. I don't know if I've ever seen you looking this sharp.
Thanks a lot.
Very nice. The new look.
Hata happy socks.
Yeah, man.
Sawa.
Najaribu.
How you doing, bro?
I'm good.
First of all, welcome. You know, sijai kuona bila stanners.
Kenya yote
bila ngepa.
Imagine, man, like today is the first interview nimefanya bila kofia, bila stanners.
How does it feel?
The change.
The change.
Yeah,
welcome. Now you can see the lights.
I can see the lights.
Even ndio kuna kaanga. Well, we're going to take it back a little bit because, you know, other than being part of P Unit, wewe ni daktari pia, tumekujua kama Frasha ni daktari. So tell us a bit about that background, that aspect of you.
Okay, so first of all, you know, I grew up in Athi River. So after I was in Athi River, I went to MTC, where I trained as a physiotherapist. Then I got employed in Aga Khan Hospital. And during my work, I worked in Aga Khan Hospital for 6 years. So during this time is when I was doing my shift also to music, because even before I went to MTC, I was still doing music. And so at this time I was able to do the shift between, I had to choose, either I do music or I stay in my employment. But I was getting a bit, you know, bored with my job, and so I got into music. So I did music. Mpaka mahali tumefika now. Now it's time for something new.
Yeah. And I mean, you know, even as you talk about something, has this always been something you want to do, or you know, you say you grew up in Athi River?
Politics or been?
Yeah, politics.
Okay. First of all, my dad was a politician.
Okay.
My mom was a doctor. So I think nimetumikia my mom, nimejitumikia na muziki. Now I'm about to go to what my dad used to do. And but it's something that came up to me. You know, I've never planned to be a politician, and I don't even think I'm a politician. I think I'm more of a leader than a guy who does politics. And so this is just something that came up from my foundation, because I was doing a lot of activities in my foundation. So going to places. Then I was like, hey, maybe I should, you know, go back home and try and do these things that I'm doing. Yeah.
Now, what was the reaction from the rest of P Unit when they found out?
But you know, they've been very supportive, and even when I'm doing my small rounds, they accompany me, Gabupia. So even Msioka has actually supported me a lot. So it's a new journey, and I'm excited to get into it.
Even as you know, okay, let's stick with the reaction first. I was going to ask about how it's the dirty waters of politics. But how about your folks? And I mean you mean paying homage to them. Sasa umesema umetumikia madhe, sasa unatumikia father. What about your family? Like, you know,
what's throughout
the family?
You know, I've been married. Most people don't know. I've been married for 14. Actually, this is the 15th year.
Congratulations!
And and my firstborn is actually a candidate this year. She's in Loreto.
Wow.
And all these things. Why actually I used to ride as Frasha was because I never wanted to involve my family into the limelight. But imefika wakati, so right now I have to put it all out there. But the person who has the biggest problem with me switching into politics is my wife, because kama mziki imesumbua hivi na hii politics. Yeah, but you know, I keep telling guys, if God gives you something to do, then He'll support you in it. Right. And I was telling somebody, I don't know nini menishika in politics, but that's how God works. Because you think that God atakuashia bush hapana, ni kitu tu amekuingiza ndani yako. It's something that is just inbuilt. And so, yeah, I'm here as a politician.
So you said you're from Athi River originally. You're running for MCA of where?
I'm running for MCA Athi River County, Athi River Township, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Athi River Township, right.
Yeah,
so it was good to pick home. Definitely.
Yeah, that's where I grew up. Most of the guys we grew up with, at least to Libatika, tukatoka hiyo mtaa, we came to do some other things, but you know, it's always good once you get something to take back home and you know, try and help your community, because I've seen a lot of things that are not going on well in Athi River in terms of leadership, maendeleo, just the youth, because I'm basically a youth, and so I'm trying to drive the youth agenda in Athi River. Yeah.
Let's talk about the youth, because the youth have been criticized so much for not caring about politics and not registering for to vote for the election, and you know, and we're such a big percentage of the electorate. So you know, do you feel like you being a musician, you get to connect to them on that level of as in encouraging them to care about the future of Kenya?
Yep, that's one of the things that I think us as musicians and celebrities have not been able to do. If you look at the states and most of the countries, the celebrities actually set an agenda for the country, for how people are going to vote. Us guys here, the only thing we do is to go the elections, so a politician will call you, go do the show, and you know, you go. But in terms of setting agendas, we don't. We don't go out and tell the youth, you know, you need to go and vote. It's important to vote. Even if you don't vote, you're actually voting for somebody else. If you look at the importance of why do you vote, voting itakutengeneza ile barabara iko hapo home. What are the benefits? And so I think when you look at the leadership of the country, it is the youth agenda has not been addressed by the governments. So there are issues that the youths want to say, hata nikivote, there's no reason for me voting, you know. But it's up to us guys, and me becoming a politician is one of the steps that I take, so that the people out there can see we can actually do it. This guy came from hapa mtaa, amepitia hapa, alienda akasoma hapa, amefanya hivi, and then he came back and became a politician here. So, and then there are no good examples. You look at unambia a young guy, you know, you can't be a politician. No, I don't want to be a politician, because if they are bad examples of politicians. And maybe it's time for us guys, young guys, people who have the agenda of the youth, agenda of the country, putting the country first, to come out, so that we give good examples. Guys can sit down and say, you know what, Frasha was a good leader, Frasha was a good musician, Frasha was a good, you know, or Willis was a good presenter. So it's a good thing to give examples.
And also, you know, now that you've talked about examples, the area you're going to, especially the MCAs, they've not had such a good picture. Some good, but some call them glorified glorified kanjora. Some have, you know, there's even stuff about education qualifications, and there's all that corruption going on down there, holding the governors at ransom. So what are you going to do to be different?
First of all, I think the problem is this. If you look at what happened after the new constitution was dispensed, there was a guy is from nowhere, and then he gets, it's like the way you get a rising star. You're from nowhere, you get this money, and you have all this power that you are not trained how to use it, what to do with it, and you have all this time to do whatever you want to do. So from that, what we're gonna make mistakes. It's the same thing with celebrities. You know, once you become a pop star within a go, there are things that happen to you because you're not used to the position that you are in. You're not used to the kind of money that you're getting at that time, and so that's, to me, that was the problem. Me personally, I've been in the limelight for most of my lifetime. So I think having that, it will help me in the political scene. I keep telling guys I'm a different kind of leader, and then guys are like, well, you are not the same. But I think having a background that I have had, and the kind of being an artist is harder than being an MCA, because of the artist, it's the same kind of lifestyle, you have the same kind of things that are going on. The only thing with being an MCA for me will be to set policies that will be able to, a guy will sit down one day and say, you know, we had an MCA who was thinking about the future.
You've talked about PUNIT's reaction to you deciding to join politics. What about your fans? Any mafans wako wa muziki.
Yeah.
Did you face opposition there? People telling you like
I'm still an artist. Kama wimbo zangu za campaign mimi ndio najifanyia.
Cutting costs.
Nimekata costs. So I'll still do music, you know, and the party that I'm standing with, hata tukienda hizo road shows, I'm the one who's been put in the forefront, so which is good for me.
So music is still part of
me.
Who you are.
It's still part of me.
So you're still going to so what happened?
Content usingie.
Wabe.
What happens after, let's say sasa ukikuwa MCA, will we be doing a story of the singing MCA? I'm not the rapping MCA.
Yeah, why not? I keep telling me my need for life is I'll do 5 professions before I die. I've already done 4.
What's the 5th one?
Not counting being a father.
Not counting being a father. That's not. That's the biggest profession.
Idea Willis Frasha.
Yeah, Majuan.
Willis ako sawa. Magoti iko sawa.
Yeah. So of course, remember there are people who are watching from Athiri when they're asking Frasha to elect Frasha kwa MC wa Athiri Township. Yes, what are you going to do for them? What are their needs?
So, you know, Athiriva is divided into different areas. Kuna KMC, Makadara, Portland. I grew up in Portland Cement, in Melisho na Simiti, you know, Athiriva Chini. So there are Kasoito, there are different dynamics of every area. And as I said, we need to put policies that will actually help guys from the VGGs. Me personally, I've told guys, if you're in politics, there is the political way that you can use the government money in bringing change, building whatever, and all these kind of things. But you being an MCA, you should be able to go and bring other things from outside. Being able to interact with corporates. If, for example, I want to do something and the government kuna shida kwa government, I'm supposed to be able to go outside and be able to pull resources from other people. So it is important for me as a politician and as a leader of Athi-River, first of all, to bring change that will be visible. The same way unaona mimi nimetoa makofia. I want visible change in Athi-River. If you look at Athi-River, we've remained behind. Mlolongo came up and found Athi-River as it is today. Kitengela came up, found Athi-River as it is. Machakos. So the roads, kuna harufu ingine mbaya sana Athi-River. Ukitoka tu Mombasa ukifika hapo ataka umelala unaamuka. Unajua umefika Athi-River. And so there are challenges that we need to overcome. Water. Watu wamekuwa wakisema gava lazima itulete maji, because people don't, you know, because they're only looking at one side without facing the other side. You can be able to do things that we can be able to get water in Athi-River and clean water. Ukitaka kujua mtu Athi-River angalia meno zake. Kuna so those are tinted. So those are things that we can be able to change, and they are not big agendas as such, but the leaders that have been there, because mtu anaingia pale cause akona njaa na anataka kujibenefit the same way you were saying, it will not have the agenda of doing something that, you know, people can actually sit after some time and say, hey, ujamali kuja, he changed here and did something that we can be able to appreciate. So I'll bring a lot of changes. I have a whole manifesto that I'm going actually from tomorrow. I'm going around door to door giving out my manifesto, and, you know, doing different activities in different areas. We've been able to do a football tournament. I was able to do the medical camp because of my background, and I thought, you doctors are on strike, let me get a few of my friends. Got a bit of supplies of medicine, and guys were coming there. We treated them. There was no politics. It's just like I will see you come in, get treated, and go home. You know. So there are things that we'll be able to do.
And which party are you affiliated with?
My party is called CCU, Chama cha Uzalendo, which is headed by Honorable Wavinya Ndeti. So sisi tuko na yake tunamfollow kabisa. Yeah, she's running for the governor of Machakos also.
Right.
Yeah.
I know, CCU.
Yeah, CCU. Tunaweka ICU.
Uko na nini? Uko na politician.
Ako nayo, sindio? Hata amenichanganyisha kidogo. I'm like, so now if we have a concert, we still call you, you know.
Yeah, you can. Antakuja tu nipige sasa nini alafu tupige ngoma.
So again, also another question is, you know, and this might not be the most appropriate example, but still we saw someone like Sonko wakati alikuwa huko alikuwa na mabling nini akaingia akabaki nayo. So are we going to be expecting a change from me? Sasa utakuwa masuti ama bado utakuwa tu yo Frasha?
No, masuti saizi. Unajua nimeambia msee mwingine, when I used to work in a hospital I used to wear white coat. Chomoka white coat nikaacha na white coat nikaingia mayoyo, mangepa, mastanas. Hiyo wakati imeisha. Sasa ni masuti na mavitenge. Napiga kitenge unafikiria mimi ni meza.
Wewe unapiga kitenge.
Kitenge unafikiria mimi ni meza.
Frasha, for as long as I've known you and not known each other a long time, you're a very funny guy. As in, you uchukulia kama comedian. You know, and there's some people who can look and say, this guy can even be serious because umezea kuchekesha watu.
Yeah. I think humor is part of the biggest part of life. If you can laugh at anything, hata ukiwa na shida ukizichekelea zinapungua before hata uzitatue. So
in that case,
shida
unaweza choka hapo. So yes, I have a funny side, but you know, I have a serious side too. And if people who know me know that I have a serious side, but I can be very funny at some moments, but with people that I know. So nikipatana tu na watu wapya tu nakaga tu mzee serious na wachorea kwanza.
Unasoma.
Yeah.
We have someone here called Kevin Von Anax. Kevin Anax anasema, I really love your suit, Frasha. Good grooming there, mheshimiwa.
Asante.
Ashaitwa hapo honorable. And then somebody is just asking for your assurance to vote. I think ni Miangin, anaitwa Eriko.
Okay.
I think it's basically, I'm muuliza assurance to vote. So I think he's asking
what's that mean?
Mambo ya kupiga, since he's a youth and you're talking about youth not going out there to vote.
Yeah.
You know, there's all this talk about just like that guy told you, you know, what is the, I think he's asking, what is the assurance to kuweka pale
that will come through on the
program? Yeah, come through. Yeah.
Okay. First of all, my assurance is this: I've already set up, guys. From where I come from in Athi River, I have a team, and I think the problem that people have is if you don't have people from where you live running the projects that are there. So we'll have committees that are from guys from Athi River. We'll be able to assess in terms of development what actually is needed in terms of development. So I don't want to go and push my agenda to Athi River people. I want the guys from Athi River and especially the youth of Athi River. If you're a youth and you're Athi River, tafadhali enda kwanza uchukue kura juu most of the guys are not getting going to get registered. So enda uchukue kura. After that, then we want to form committees that kama kuna wamama, kuna wazae, kuna vijana. All these committees, what they'll be doing is giving us Apple-based solutions, home-based solutions. These guys are from there, wanajua zile shida ziko hapo, so they can be able to give us in the leadership feedback. Mostly, you find most leaders, what they do, they go and implement whatever they want for the community. What we want to do is be able to have a two-way conversation so that we can be able to talk to the guys, get feedback, and also give whatever we think that should be done. And I have a whole team, and the whole team is from Athi River. There's nobody from outside Athi River. Yeah.
Now, if people are interested in engaging you on your campaign specifics,
yes.
In terms of the platforms that they can use, is it still
you know what? Actually, hata kwa nini yangu ya voting naitwa Frasha, because I had to change because the name it's a brand. It's the name of my brand, you know. So on Facebook, I have a page. It's called I Am Frasha. On Instagram, it's I Am Frasha, and on Twitter, it's I Am Frasha. On Facebook, we've done it more interactive, so we can be able to have a conversation on Facebook, because most of the guys from Athi River are on Facebook. you can ask me any question. I'm open to being asked any questions. You can scrutiny me, kitu yote unataka kujua bibi yangu, watoto, maisha yangu, masomo, everything you can ask me from there. And in terms of setting the agenda for Athi River, we have a team of very young guys. Actually, the guys who I'm campaigning with are very young guys from 22 years to guys mpaka 25. The only old guy there, I think it's me. Nabado mimi kijana. So it's a team, and I hope they learn that leadership is not hard. You know, it's where to kuamua you can be a leader, because most of the young guys are not into things like leadership. Kesho nikisema tuko na concert, watu wataingia mbaya. But in terms of if we say tomorrow we have a seminar for leadership, then you'll see a few people coming in. So I think it's up to us guys, this generation of ours, to try and push the next generation and push the agenda of we can be leaders, we can be able to achieve much more, because our generation, I'll tell you for a fact, our generation hatuna ukabila yote. Mimi mabeste wangu in my campaign team, there are guys, there are Luos, there are Kambas, there are Kikuyus, there are all tribes. But when you start looking at politics, and then people try and put you in categories, then each generation yetu ina hiyo kitu. You get? So I hope if you are a young guy and you're at home, kwanza chukua registration yako, and whoever you want to vote for or not, even if you don't want to vote for someone, kusema utaki kupigia huyu na chukua kura, kaga na kura yako. It's your right and it's your only voice. Yeah.
And so just to get it clear on the ballot, and kwa Frasha na
kwa Frasha Francis Amisi.
Okay.
So mkiona hiyo.
Francis Amisi Frasha.
Yeah. In fact, since Athi River is tuned in, I'm going to have you look directly into that camera right there.
Yeah.
30 seconds. Just tell them what your agenda is and why they should come out and vote for you.
Yeah, first of all, if you are from Athi River, first of all, mimi ni mtu wa mtaa. I'm from Athi River. I came from Athi River. I am a son of Mr. and Mrs. Amisi. My dad used to be a councillor in Athi River. Why I want to be voted for in Athi River, one, is to bring real change in terms of development that can be felt hapo chini kwa ground. Ukiangalia watu wale wako kwa mtaa, mavijana, most of them are unemployed in Athi River. There's a lot of drugs inaendelea in Athi River. We want to change this. And me being a youth, this is something that affects me directly. Me being a youth, I want to be involved in sports. There's a lot of potential in terms of sports in Athi River. So we want to be able to make these guys, the guys who are sportsmen and sportswomen from Athi River, to pay exposure to either come into bigger teams. I also want to clean up Athi River. Athi River, as you know, it's a bit dirty, and we need to clean up. We need to clean up the river. We need to clean up the air in Athi River. So tafadhali, if you're from Athi River, my full names are Francis Amisi, aka Frasha, and I want to be your next MCA.
Yes.
All right.
Big Tola anasema, you've won me over. Kile naomba tu yako kaharufu kako Athi River kaishi. Congrats, man. You're an inspiration.
Asante.
All right. Frasha, thank you so much for coming here.
Thank you for having
speaking
me.
to us. It's good to see the other side of you.
Yeah.
We wish you all the
head.
best. Yeah, to see your head. I think, your background in all the various, industries that you've talked about has prepared you well for this job. So we wish you all the best.
Asante.
Of course, we want to say thank you so much for watching Power Breakfast this morning. It's been an absolute pleasure.